Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Farnsworth. I teach in Virginia, and I'm here at Methodist College Kuala Lumpur for about 6 weeks to talk about American politics to students here in the American Degree Transfer Program. Well, we had a good crowd and some great questions. I think that it speaks, to how important it is and how many people are willing to consider fake news and how to deal with it as they go forward. And that's a good sign, because we can't really count on the governments to fix this, because if governments try to manipulate free speech, you're at risk of losing a free society. And businesses probably won't regulate fake news either, because they make money every time people get angry at somebody else and click and retweet and repost things. So it's on us. And that challenge is one that we have to take on. It's more work than we might want to take on, but it is what it is. We won't get a more honest conversation about the future of the country or the future of the world without it. I think journalists everywhere struggle. The first challenge that every reporter has is trying to get information that other people don't want you to have. And governments are not necessarily as transparent as the people might like, and they're certainly not as transparent as the journalists would like. And so sometimes you end up writing stories that are more incremental than comprehensive, and that's the nature of journalism. But the journalists here, I think, do a very good job of saying a lot about what is going on with government and what some of the big controversies are in the country. Now, I'm only reading English language media. I'm keeping track of what's going on in the US in that media, keeping track of what's going on in business in that media, and starting to learn a bit about Malaysian politics through those stories too. I think the challenge that every society has now is how to separate information that is accurate and factual from information that is opinion or just plain false. And I think that the challenges are going to just intensify as more and more people go online and more people learn how to manipulate video or audio to make it sound like something that didn't happen actually did happen. That's creating, I think, a great challenge. And so as I'm looking at questions of fake news, that it's requiring a lot more of citizens than it ever did. Be they American citizens, British citizens, or Malaysian citizens, everywhere you go, you're going to see people who are trying to tell you stuff that's not true because it's worth it to them for you to be fooled. And you have to go to that much more trouble than ever before to avoid being subject to this fake news. Well, what you get in American media is a very American focus. The issues outside the United States that relate to the United States are the kind of international stories that get covered. So the issues would really only be the sort of top big issues, like the 1MDB scandal. That involves some American celebrities, it involves people who have connections to Hollywood, and so Americans, like most countries, they like talking about themselves. And so the conversation about US-Malaysia issues has to have a pretty significant US component for it to break through in the US news. The main thing that I would tell any student anywhere is that this is a great time. You have the opportunity to really focus on whatever it is that interests you in your classes, in your planning for your career, and so you have to make the most of it. You can have fun, of course, but you can also really shape the trajectory of the next 20 years of your life by where you focus and what you do here. So make the most of it.